Senator Elgeyo Marakwet Kipchumba Murkomen has made an undertaking on this show that he will actually write to the Speaker of the National Assembly today and to repeat exactly the allegations is leveled against the National Assembly's Public Accounts Committee and listing all the allegations in that communication. Peter Kaluma, Member of Parliament of Homa Bay, has also made an undertaking to write to the committee of to the speaker as well.
To the speaker as chair of the Powers and Privileges Committee,
yes,
to require the attendance of Honorable Murkomen and those members of the Public Accounts Committee mentioned,
yes,
so that we can know who
with regard to the allegations made by the senator. And so
I hope that Senator Murkomen will also use this chance to actually save the people you're talking about.
Correct.
Because if it is proven and it is true,
yes,
we must put it in public and we must lead from the front. The disbandment of that committee has happened before on similar allegations, but there was no concrete action taken against members.
Yes.
This should be the time to actually bring it to the public and let the truth
and
be
as
known.
the media will hold these two gentlemen to account, we expect to get
we'll give you the letter today
to see that you've actually written and you're not just making allegations on national TV. We now want to wrap up this news review, and of course the other two issues that we need to discuss is the President Uhuru Kenyatta is actually on day 2 of his tour of Western Kenya. Raila Odinga is going to visit the same region starting tomorrow, and on Sunday head to Homa Bay. And after that we're going to discuss Philip Murgo's bid for the presidency. He officially launched that yesterday, and with that we'll wrap up our news review. So the President is in Western Kenya, and he's dishing out goodies, as it were. Yesterday he reopened the pan paper factory in Webuye, and he also issued a number of title deeds at the Chepuk settlement scheme. Now Raila Odinga comes immediately after that tomorrow. Is this a coincidence, or is it a campaign strategy that where the President goes, Raila follows immediately after?
Yes, and where Raila goes, the President follows. The way he was in Kericho and Bomet, and the President and the Deputy followed. I'd say, Fred, that as we approach elections, you know, the appearance by leaders of various political factions at places coincidentally will intensify as we move forward. So nobody should worry about it. In fact, we have a plan going into, you know, Kirinyaga, Nyeri, Murang'a, and ending in Kiambu before we come to Nairobi. It is going to happen. And the mere fact that we go and, you know, another faction also, you know, seeking, you know, political support goes, is no cause for alarm. It is how it is going to happen. It is how it should happen. But let me say something, you know, Fred. It hurts me when every day, anytime the President is going to coast Western, I don't know the last time he went to Nyanza. I told you here before, I never stepped into Homa Bay County, which is the largest county in Luo Nyanza in terms of population and demographics. I don't know why we are being excluded. But what hurts me is that when the President goes to Central Kenya, the media says he's taken development. And of course you saw the amount of development he took to Nyeri. Okay? And I don't know how the President takes development, because the budgeting function, the allocation of funds to development, is now a parliamentary function. The sources of these monies are the taxes of all Kenyans. And of course, if there are debts, foreign debts, they are to be repaid by all Kenyans. Now, what I detest is the idea that when the President goes to Central Kenya, it is development. When he's going to Western Kenya, it is goodies. What goodies is he taking there? He has no money to give anybody, including by himself. The President can go there and say, we have revived pan paper, but if Parliament, as the House of Representatives, does not allocate money, there is nothing he's doing there. So let us agree, really, that these monies belong to all Kenyans as taxpayers and as people who repay the debts. The President has no development to give anybody. Let us, you know, instead advocate for a situation where all regions, whether or not the President visits, you know, get these things you call development. The word goodies is demeaning to the people of Western Kenya. And of course, let me also, you know, dissuade Jubilee leadership from imagining by going to Western Kenya or Nyanza and saying we are reviving this, it gives you votes. I mean, that is the work you have to do, and you're doing it with our money, so it does not add them anything.
Okay, Senator.
I just want to make it clear that elections and leaders are elected to manage public funds, not to manage their personal funds. The President was elected to be creative in how he will develop this country. the responsibility of providing a budget to Parliament is the President's responsibility. It is his budget that is going to be passed by Parliament. It is his vision. It is the manifesto of Jubilee that is being implemented. We are going to be tested next year on the ability to deliver this manifesto across the country. There were lies and propaganda the other day when the President was in Central Province that, oh, you know, a lot of money is being put in Central Province. It's not all over the country. Kaluma has now confirmed that there is no such a thing. It is across the country.
So there is nothing in Umabe.
It is development across the country. When we come to Umabe, we will tell you.
Nothing at all.
We will show you, because the other day, Raila Odinga was saying the Jubilee government has not worked. We connected electricity to his neighbor. He was the only privileged person to have electricity as an individual since 1963. It is Jubilee government that connected.
And that neighbor is not paying taxes.
Yeah, he's paying taxes, but I'm just saying, how could someone have been a prime minister and deny his neighbors even electricity? I mean, honestly,
even from his own Raila's work.
Let me conclude.
Let me say something. No, wait. I think we need to focus. We need to focus. You guys also need to focus. The point we're making here is that next time the president is going to, the water project is going to launch today in Busia. You saw the roads he launched yesterday in Bungoma County. So the revival of pan paper. It's up to newspapers to call them goodies or call them development. We have no control about the branding. It is us to continue serving the people of Kenya, and I am so impressed by the manner in which the people of Western Province received the president, by the manner in which they have been now critical of past leadership, and I have no doubt next year. Yeah, please allow me to join in that discussion. One thing is that even in the last 53 years, or even in the last 50 years, it's not that we've not been paying taxes, but how much has been used prudently to deliver services. And I think you've heard even some of us who are really Jubilee supporters, some of us complaining that the president has actually gone to the code zones more than he had come to our areas. And I think that is what the president stands for, that he's the president of everyone. Whether you voted him, whether you're going to vote for him, he has to deliver. But I think it's very hypocritical for Honorable Kaluma that when it is goodies or development, as you may call it, you say the president has no powers. But when it is corruption issues, you say the buck stops with the president. So the bad stops with the president, but the good, he does not take credit. I think we need to be very honest in this discussion. But going forward, the implementation of the Jubilee Manifesto, if anyone else wins and the code takes whatever, the leadership, we will hold them to account to their manifesto, to deliver to Kenyans, even to the areas where they don't get votes. So I think let us give credit to the president. There are 3 million title deeds that are being issued. People who have never seen that title deed are seeing it today in this Jubilee government. And we've seen some of these leadership, like in the coast province or the coast area. They tell the the members of the public that don't take the Jubilee Jubilee title deeds are not genuine. I think that is retrogressive. It is not leadership. They should demonstrate. And I always tell them they have 24 counties to demonstrate leadership, and deliver their manifestos in those counties.
Anything to say about that matter?
I think the president is the head of state. That is a symbol of national unity. So I hear, for example, the sentiment by Honorable Kaluma that we welcome him to Omabe. He is the president of the republic. From a political side is that also the president is the head of a political faction, in the sense, for example, the Jubilee. And elections is usually a competition on who has the best ideas on how to implement our taxes. So then we are moving towards 2017. If you look at how the formation is taking place, it is the president only passed the mark by 50.04. So one thing that that you are seeing both sides, and you can see also Raila is going to Western Kenya, is that everybody is seeking to consolidate their bases, even as they seek to get more territory. My hope and prayer is that this competition and these ideas on who has the best ideas will be done in a civil way, a peaceful way, because we are all Kenyans. And when we see more development, better roads, it is the country that moves ahead.
Now we need to wrap up the news review, and of course the president is on day 2 of his tour of Western Kenya. Today he's wrapping up his tour of Western Kenya. Raila Odinga will be in Western Kenya
as
tomorrow.
Expected.
Then on Sunday he'll be heading to Homa Bay County.
Yes.
And so as we wrap up this news review, I'd want you to give your final comment on probably where you'll be at the weekend. Plus, veteran lawyer Philip Murgor has formally launched his presidential bid. Murgor, who's a former director of public prosecutions, was yesterday unveiled as a presidential candidate for the United Democratic Movement at the party's new headquarters on 4th Ngong Avenue, Nairobi. Now, addressing journalists during the event, Murgor claimed he offered the best alternative to what he termed as divisive politics of both the Jubilee and CORD. As you make your final submissions, where you'll be at the weekend, please say something about your learned friends' bid for president as well. Let's start with Senator Mukula.
Well, first of all, we want the president to continue visiting everywhere in the country, and the rest of us will either join, we will join our constituents in our constituencies. Kaluma will be hosting the president in his county, and so I'm expecting people, when the head of state comes, or when even opposition leader like Raila Odinga comes, like the way he came to my county, and women were wearing Jubilee t-shirts, were welcoming him. It's important that we remain civilized as a country as we prepare for the elections. Only 8 months to the elections. As for really Murgor, he's my friend, he's my former student. I taught him in the LLM program, and I think let me reserve my comments. At the moment, let me just make it in a more simple way. At the moment, the country is considering 2 political factions. The one led by Raila Odinga and the one led by Uhuru Kenyatta. That's really where politics are being consolidated around at the moment. Our brother Philip Murgor may want to...
There's no space for him this time around.
I don't think at the moment. He was always pleased to ask my genuine advice. There's no space for him at the moment.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, we are going to have a very big event this weekend going forward, and let me assure the country it will be a very peaceful event from the arrangements so far made. Each year we meet as Luos to evaluate our history, to relive our culture, and to celebrate them. So this time it is taking place in Homa Bay County. As Murkomen says, our president will of course be there. The Right Honorable Raila Odinga, and then I want to invite everybody to read, because I hear President Uhuru Kenyatta will be somewhere in Western. Just said he's never stepped into Homa Bay.
He will be coming maybe this weekend.
Only known to him. In terms of lineage, Luos are close to Masais, Turkanas, the Samburus, the Kalenjins. They are all going to be there. They are all invited, so that we can really talk about our lineage.
These other groupings are not invited for this particular...
All of them, but I'm saying these are core. These are core groups. And by the way, they cut across, Tanzania, they cut across, Uganda. Sudan. We had 11 MPs
and Sudan
of our lineage from there. They are in Sudan. They are in the United States White House. It's a brand. So we are inviting, everybody to be there. And I can assure them there will be peace. Number
Please
2,
invite me.
What we are talking about is not restricting the president. Let me assure the nation that the Right Honorable Raila Odinga has told us, if the president is anywhere, be there with him as a leader if he's there. That's why we had to go to Homa Bay even if we were being attacked. So the president should be free to come. What we detest is the idea that, when he goes somewhere, there is so much being given. When he goes elsewhere, it is goodies and freebies. We want real development to cut across whether or not he visits.
Finally, lawyer Murgor's bid for presidency?
All dreams are valid. I know Murgor as a lawyer. I know Mrs. Murgor as a great judge who nearly became, the deputy chief justice of the Republic, if it were not for ethnic balance. And I can tell you, I know Philip Murgor as a person who means well. The idea that he cannot succeed is, of course, this ethnicized politics. Thinking. But I think the resoluteness with which is going for it needs to be encouraged, and I personally support him so that we have alternatives in terms of choices.
Thank you, Bwana Kaluma.
Thanks, Fred. I think we need to make it very clear there can only be one president at a time. I think Kaluma, unless you have a Luo president, we don't know any other. And the loyalty pledge, I pledge my loyalty to the nation and the President of Kenya. That you cannot take that away, and I think we must not demean the office of the presidency.
But
we need to give
respect.
We need to give respect. He has not been to every corner, but it's not over yet. So be patient. Be patient and be respectful to the president. I mean, our president has gone to areas where even shoes are thrown at him, and he still goes and laughs about it and takes it very easily. I think we need to give a commendation to the president. I hope that we will continue doing what we are supposed to do as a Jubilee government, delivering our mandate and our manifesto and explaining, because some of these things, even some that are done by the county government in their regions, the governors in those regions actually own them like their own and actually mislead the public. So I think we need to make it very clear and actually explain what the government has been able to do. But on popularization of the party, of course, I'm hoping that after this dust settles on the county officials, in the interim county officials, we will definitely embark on a very serious role of popularizing the party, of making sure that our registers are clean, and making sure that we prepare for the nominations, prepare for the elections, and so that we don't gamble with it, because it's a very important role that the party will play. Moving forward on Murgo, of course, everyone has a right to vie. I welcome him. The more the merrier. Let us see, because the country is ready for the presidency of Uhuru Kenyatta to go on. They have demonstrated that, and they will demonstrate in the ballot. But I know this might be also our last show before Christmas. So
the last Friday.
Yeah, the last Friday. So I would also take this time to actually wish the residents of Gilgil constituency, Nakuru County, and the country at large Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays. Keep safe and drive safe.
Okay. Finally, Mwana Kimosop, wrap it up.
Just clarify. Are you saying that next week Christmas is
what you're saying is that Farm Breakfast might take a break for a few days just before Christmas.
So I think on Murgor, Article 38, which you quoted, gives everybody the right to exercise their political rights, and this is one of them. Kenya is a democratic space, democratic country. Article 4, that's governed by, as in a multi-party. That is guaranteed by the Constitution. Over the weekend, I am the vice chair of the Leadership Association of Kenya. And we are meeting. This is the group that studies leadership, its principles, and how it ought to be celebrated and its integrity upheld. So we have a retreat over the weekend to really develop our strategic plan and see how to promote leadership and see how it can grow locally and internationally.
Okay, thank you so much.
Fred, can I make a request?
Yes.
Fred, can I make a request?
Briefly.
Fred, you know, to a child, I said here last time, their parent is their strongest person, is their sense of security. May I make a request to the media that those photos of my attack and assault being sprayed are hurting my family? Could the media, you know, get them out? It is sufficient to say Kaluma was beaten or assaulted without splashing this thing to my children, you know, every day. May it be removed. The media was not even in Oma Bay. This thing was given to the media to scandalize.
That's a message. That's a message to the editor.
Also the citizen.
Yes.